Hey everyone, this is Jeff with CRM Connect. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Sites section in the Site Builder inside of your CRM. If you log in, you will go to your dashboard at first, and on the left-hand side, you'll see this button that says Sites. If you click in here, you'll see that there's a top menu with many items, all that have to do with websites. But you'll see the first two are funnels and websites. Now, funnels are more for a step-by-step series of web pages, generally used for a specific purpose like capturing leads or booking an appointment or making a sale to a webinar, that type of thing. Websites are usually for a more in-depth 7 to 10 or more page websites. However, both areas function nearly the same way. There's just a difference in how you view the navigations a little bit, but it's really much, very much up to your personal preference of how you're going to build your website. For this purpose, we're going to start with websites. If you go to New Website, you can choose from Templates. And you can view a lot of different options in here. You can search at the top for different key terms or different industry terms, or you can navigate on the bottom and you can say financial, perhaps, is a site that you're looking for. When you're in here, you can view the websites by clicking the view icon and see what it's going to look like after it imports. And all of these items are certainly adjustable after it imports. This is just a basic template for you to be able to work with. For this instance, let's say continue, and we've found the actual template we want to work with. And so now it's uploading all of the fonts, images, and everything on the back end. And you'll see right here, it brings you into the actual page. Now, to give you an understanding of where this lies now inside of your CRM, I'll hit save. This is something for SEO and metadata that we will touch on later. So I'll X out of that for now and I'll hit back. And if I'll go back once more, or actually I'll just hit the sites button right here and go to websites, and you'll see credit repair is the website template that we installed. So under here, if you click on credit repair, it brings you back to where you just were, and you see that there's 3 pages in here. If you click on edit for the home page, we can now go over the actual builder elements for you. So inside of here, you'll see that if you hover over different areas, it's a very much like a classic WordPress builder in many ways. Certain areas are highlighted as you hover over them to show what section you're going to be selecting to work with and what settings you'll be getting from there. In this situation, this is the header. And if you were to select here, it's going to select what's called a section. Everything in green is a section. Within each section, there's different columns, different rows, and different elements. So if you were to hover just a little bit more to the left, you see that here's a column. And it says first column. There's only one in this case. Within this column, there's an element, which is the navigation menu. And the navigation menu is one module. Even though there's many different elements inside of it, it's one module in this case. So you have on the right-hand side, different items that opened up for you to be able to select and adjust further. You can click on About, for instance, and click on this Edit button, and you can say that you want it to go to a specific website when someone selects it, or a page within your current website. In this case, let's assume that we had an About page, but we'll just choose the appointment page. So when someone clicks on it, they would go to that appointment page, and you would say Submit. Then within that same section, if you scroll down, you'll see that you have other elements that are available to you. You can change the hover text color. So when you hover over the text, we can change that right now, actually. We can make it a bit of a gray. So when you hover over it, it turns a little bit gray and shows some dynamic involvement there. That's an option. You can change all of your color options in here, bold text color, italics color, and so forth. Your font weight, your font styles. And speaking of font styles, we normally end up wanting to set some default fonts for the website, and this theme imported some for us. But that's why you see in here a lot of times you'll say you want headline font or content font or custom font. To keep things organized, we usually stay within one of these two areas. Headline font for any titles, content font for any paragraph text. These would be considered a title, as would this menu item, but this would be considered a paragraph text. Anything that's more descriptive, this certainly would be paragraph text. This could be a headline text or header text. To edit the global settings on that, you would click on typography right here. And here's where you could choose your headline font and content fonts, as well as set a master color for your text or links. If you select in here, you have some recent fonts that are by default available, but you can select almost any Google font from here. As you can see, it continues to load many fonts as you scroll, and you can type a certain font that you know of that you want in here. If it is not available as a Google font, It is something that we can customize to be available, but you would have to reach out to us for some further options to make sure that that is done accurately. So outside of that, if you were to scroll down, let's give you another quick overview of what these sections do. In this case, we have three columns. And so there's one section to all this, which is highlighted in green, that's a little bit hard to choose. It's hard to select. And it's because there's no extra padding on the sides. And so what you can do is you can choose layers and page. And so here, if we were to choose different sections, you can see it automatically navigates you to those sections. And you can choose the different rows within those sections as well. So here, if we were to say this section and open it up, we see there's three column rows. And this, by default, is letting us select the entire section in with regards to the rows within it. So we have the global area set where we can choose the width of this and we can shrink it, we can enlarge it, you can set different padding. Under advanced, you can add box shadows and other various elements. But if you wanted to go into each individual column, you can choose it this way or just select it on the screen and it will bring you there as well. That's just another way that you can navigate in case you see that some of the padding options are not letting you select a section or anything like that. And overall, the next thing that I would go over is if you hit save, it's going to bring up this SEO metadata. This is very important to make sure it's as accurate as you can for Google to pick up. What you want to click on is content, and you want the title of this page to be the title of the page. Oftentimes, I end up saying if this is, let's assume this is just the About Us page. I would say About Us, either a dash or a vertical line text item or anything like that. And then you could say my company name, whatever your company is. So when Google picks it up, it's going to know that it's your company name. But first off, it's going to prioritize that it's an About Us page. And then here you could put your description. Oftentimes you want to make sure the description has some key terms are that state the page name as well as your company name so that it aligns a bit with the title content. You can certainly use your own discretion for how this is written, but in this case we would say my company is focused on marketing and CRM capabilities. We are all about such and such. Then you can add keywords. You can say about us for sure. You would put a comma to distinguish the difference between different keywords. You can say my company if you needed, or so forth, whatever the case was for what terms you are going to be focusing on. The social image is what shows up when you post your link into Facebook or on LinkedIn. You definitely want to choose a social image. For instance, in this case, we could choose this image that was imported by the template. And now we can scroll up to the top and we can see a preview of what it would look like when you post your link into social media aspects. So that's roughly how that works. Author, just so that you know, is not needed on most pages unless it's a blog content. I do like to add the company name in there just so that it is covered, but under most regular pages, you don't need to add that in there in this case. I would say update metadata, save, and then you're good to go for the next round of reviews or changes. The only extra item that you want to know of is there are some steps to add your domain name and so forth, but that'll be in another video. After you add your domain name, when you hit save, it saves where you are at with your changes, but it does not publish those changes to the website. You would hit publish every time to make sure that the changes that you recently made are pushed to the website. And if you ever needed to view previous versions, you could click this button and it would show you previous saved versions so that if you made a mistake, you could go back to a previous version, which is very important and very handy. So all of those items are available to you in the CRM. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and have a good day.